Good day, Deeply Word family. Welcome to day 100 of our Bible study review. Today we're going through chapters 4 through 6 of 1 Kings. So Solomon is king, and it names the officials under his reign. Now, at the end of this list, we see that he institutes forced labor, which is against Yah's law. But he keeps using these imperfect people to fulfill his plan. Then we see that Solomon has 12 officers who are responsible for provision for his household, not just for him, but for his horses, all of his livestock. In verse 22, we see Solomon's daily provision. Those 12 officers, they are responsible, one for each month, to bring him his daily provision. It is massive. It is luxurious. And it says that they lacked nothing. The era of King Solomon's reign was glorious. And Solomon had peace on all sides. Everyone within the kingdom dwelt safely in their own land. They all sat up under their own trees, and no man came to steal what was rightfully theirs. This is something that Yah had promised he would do, so long as the kings would adhere to the laws and keep all of his charges. And it reiterates that Elohim gave Solomon great wisdom, great depth of understanding, and great compassion to rule his people. He's responsible for over 3,000 proverbs and over 1,005 songs. We will see this later when we read through the writings: Proverbs, Song of Songs, and Ecclesiastes. Majority of these are written by King Solomon. Chapter 5 opens up and we see that the king of Tyre sends his servants to Solomon because he loved David. And Solomon sent message back to him saying that, my father was not able to build a house for Yahuwah, that this task was sent to me. And so he said, if you'll partner up with me, if you supply the materials and the labor, I will supply the food for them. And so they make this agreement. Not only does King Solomon have the help of the Sidonians, but King Solomon drafts a total of 30,000 men from Israel. Yes, this is forced labor. He's starting to look a little bit like Pharaoh. They are to go out and work for 1 month and come back home for 2 months. And this went on until the house, the temple, was built, complete. Now we're in chapter 6, and it says in the 480th year after the children of Israel had made their exodus out of Egypt, in the 4th year of King Solomon's reign, in the 2nd month, he started building the temple. He started laying the foundation. Now, the part of revelation about this that I want to share with you is that in the 2nd biblical month, that's when Yah builds his house as well. The 2nd biblical month, which we are in right now in the year 2023. What happens in the 2nd month? Shavuot. The Spirit of Yah comes down, and the law is written upon the tablets of our hearts. That's Jeremiah 31:31. Go ahead and read the full chapter of Jeremiah 31, because this is the New Testament, New Covenant. It's not a new set of laws, y'all. It's the law of Elohim written upon the tablet of our heart. The foundation is laid. Now, I said Shavuot, which is the Hebrew way of saying Pentecost. We see all throughout the chapters that the materials used to build the house, to build the temple, they're not cheap materials. Only the best of the best. Let's read verses 11 through 13. Now the word of Yahuwah came to Solomon, saying, concerning this house which you are building, if you will walk in my statutes and execute my judgments and keep all of my commandments and walk in them, then I will carry out my word with you, which I spoke to David your father, and I will dwell among the people of Israel and will not forsake my people, Israel. And just take notice some of the details within the temple. There's no detail spared. We see the cherubim, everything is overlaid with gold, and we see hand carving of flowers. The temple is a place where our Elohim dwells with us, where heaven meets earth. It's a picture of the Garden of Eden. If you've never seen an image of the Temple of Solomon, I'm going to link a video below so you can get a visual. Let's finish out today's reading with verses 37 and 38. In the 4th year, in the month of Ziv, the foundation of the house of Yahuwah was laid. And in the 11th year, in the 8th month, the house was completely finished, and the details of the plans were met. So he took 7 years to build it. So let's slow that down and let's think about this. In the 2nd month, Solomon started building the house. And in the 2nd biblical month, the Spirit of Yah came down and the law was transferred on the tablets of our hearts, right? The foundation in the Spirit is laid with his body. It took Solomon 7 years to build the house. And in the 8th month, it was complete, finished. Y'all know there's 7 days in creation and there's 7 biblical feasts. The 7th day represents the Sabbath year, the millennial kingdom of Messiah. The 8th day represents the day we walk into eternity. We know that after the 1,000-year millennial reign of Christ, all of heaven and earth is burned up and everything is recycled. New Jerusalem comes down and the Father dwells among us as well. Do you see these details, not just inside Solomon's temple, but how no detail in Scripture is wasted? The timing is impeccable. The timing is divine. I love making these connections. This is the stuff that gets me excited. Deep in Word family, that's all that I have for you today. Until tomorrow, Yah bless.